With the loss there this evening, the Leafs now fall to 1-3 on the preseason. And, they lose 5-3 to the Buffalo Sabres there tonight. And you know what? It wasn't really a bad hockey game. I thought the Leafs played pretty well. Michael Hutchinson came in the third period and allowed 3 goals. Tough one there. 2 goals in the empty netter. But you always talk about preseason games meaning nothing, as I always do. But you got to take positives out of losses. Now, how did this game start off? Well, John Tavares cleaned up the garbage in front of the net, scores his first goal of the preseason, putting the Leafs in front 1-0. Kasperi Kapanen and Jake Muzzin with the assists on the goal. And then Reinhart and Olofsson come back with 2 of their own, one in the first, one in the second. Leafs down 2-1. Pierre Engvall comes down the far side and kind of banks it off the goalie and in. Not a very pretty goal, but it counts, and it's a 2-2 hockey game. We go to the third period, and under 10 minutes in, Jimmy Vesey scores, and Reinhart with the assist, and the Buffalo Sabres take the 3-2 lead. Just over a minute after that, can we talk about Jake Muzzin absolutely crunching Olofsson into the bench? And then in comes, Trevor Moore, shorthanded, takes a shot, fans on it, kind of gets the puck back, and tucks, I think it hits the skate of the goalie, and into the back of the net, and tied at 3, like I said, just over a minute after the goal by Jimmy Vesey to give them the lead. But then, under 3 minutes to play, Olofsson scores again, and then CJ Smith ends the game with an empty netter as the Leafs lose 5-3 to the Buffalo Sabres. Now, as I said, positives. Michael Neuwirth is my backup goalie this year. The reason I say so is 1, his track record. Number 2, you saw how composed, collected he looked in the net today. I know it's preseason, it doesn't mean anything, but I thought he looked really good. 2 goals on 22 shots, 1 goal, he didn't even see it. It got deflected on the way through, and he didn't even know where it was, and they found a way to pot it into the empty net because he didn't know where the puck was. And I thought he was really good. I thought he made some really good saves. He was great positionally. I thought Michael Neuwirth was spectacular for the Leafs in the game today. He allowed 2 goals on 22 shots for 20. He made 20 saves. People love save percentage, 909. Considering, that he only played 2 periods, I thought he was really good. Hutchinson, on the other hand, 2 goals on 9 shots in the third period. Not a very good job by him. But nonetheless, I still believe Michael Neuwirth's the guy. I believe this when they signed him to a PTO. I truly believed that he was going to be the guy as the backup. Now, will it end up happening? I'm not sure. I don't know what to tell you guys. I truly believe that he's going to be the backup. If he doesn't, I don't know what the excuse is going to be this time. Because at least with Garrett Sparks, there was hope for a future for him. That clearly didn't work because he just got waived by Vegas. Clearly, they don't give a darn about him either. So it's very interesting to see what happened with Garrett Sparks last year, then traded for a late round pick, 5th, 6th, or 7th round pick, something like that. And then he gets waived by Vegas. Incredible there. But I thought Trevor Moore was flying. That 4th line, I thought Gauthier would look great again this game. Moore looked fantastic. I thought Marner looked a little bit better in this game than he did in his first game. I thought he was a lot better in this one. I thought Kasperi Kapanen looked great. Muzzin laying the boom, looking good out there. Any other guys that jumped out at me? I thought Jeremy Bracco was all over the place. He looked good. Korshkov, I thought, had a really good game as well. He looked real good. But again, the 4th line, like I said, really got the job done. Other than, Trevor Moore getting the goal. Jason Spezza had 4 shots on net. Frederic Gauthier had an assist and a shot on net. Look, if this 4th line for the Leafs can get the job done, you're going to be great. You look at that series against the Boston Bruins. What stood out? The depth for the Bruins outplayed the depth for the Leafs. And if a guy like Frederic Gauthier, if a guy like Jason Spezza, and a guy like Trevor Moore can impact your bottom 6 and make them a legit scoring threat, ideally that goal by Trevor Moore was a short-handed goal, but him being in the bottom 6, I'm assuming this year, I want to see him pot some goals, and I want to see Trevor Moore have a 10-goal-plus season, kind of like a Tyler Ennis last year for this team. You want to see consistency. You don't want your 4th line just to be guys who are out there to waste time. You want them to actually make an impact. And a guy like Jason Spezza, a guy like Trevor Moore, I'm not too sure about Frederic Gauthier as of yet, but I'm liking what we're seeing from this young core. And you got to remember, Jeremy Bracco is still a guy that could possibly make this team. So there's lots of things to look at when it comes to this Leafs team. And, continue to have a look and continue to, guess who's going to get the roster spots. Obviously, Kazimir Kaskasuo and the other goaltender, his name escapes me now, they got sent down to the Marlies as expected. And they're starting to make roster cuts as of right now. We're midway point through the preseason now. We're only midway. It's only 4 of 8. We got to play Montreal twice, and we have to play Detroit twice. And that's going to round out the preseason, all right? October 2nd is the first game of the year at Scotiabank Arena against the Sens. So no matter how many preseason games you have, that's the number you look at. October the 2nd is the first regular season game. You know what I mean? Let's run through the stats here real quick. Trevor Moore had a goal, and he was a +1. Pierre Engvall had a goal. He was a +1. John Tavares had a goal, but he was a -3. Tough night in the office for JT. Jake Muzzin had 2 assists, and he was an even player. Kasperi Kapanen, 2 assists and a -2. Gauthier with 1 assist and a +1. But you look at the guys, Mitch Marner, John Tavares, Kasperi Kapanen, they combined for a -8. And that's your top line today. But that tells you that guys like, Reinhart had a 3-point game. Jack Eichel had a 2-point game. Olofsson had a 2-goal game. They had guys who are just making the Marner, Tavares, Kapanen line just grind down. And now you're seeing the spot of Zach Hyman that they're missing right now. You know what I mean? Zach Hyman's that gritty guy that's going to get in the corners, grind out loose pucks, get you the puck back. And it leads to possessions for John Tavares and Mitch Marner just to go crazy and have fun. But they don't have that right now. They won't have that for the first 15 games max. So they got to figure out a way to get it done on the defensive end of things and getting the puck back and out of your zone. And that's what they weren't able to do today. Now, ideally, they weren't. I don't think the Leafs had a good power play. No, they were 1 for 4 on the penalty kill, and they were 0 for 3 on the power play. Special teams kills, guys. When you can't win special teams battles, you're going to lose a lot of games. Look at the Leafs in the playoffs against the Bruins. Special teams was a huge factor in that series. If this Leaf team can kill penalties and score power play goals, they're going to win a lot of games that way. But you got to find a way to put the puck in the net, and they weren't able to do so today enough. And they weren't able to keep the puck out of the net. And like I said, the big line of Tavares, Kapanen, Marner, -8, not combined, of course. So not a very good game for those guys. But you know what? It's preseason. In the end, it doesn't matter, and you move on to the next one, all right? So then speaking of the next one, the next game for the Leafs is on Monday as they are in Montreal at the Bell Center in Montreal at 7 o'clock, puck drop there in Game 5 of the preseason. And once again, we're looking for a W as we'd like to see. But if there's no win and there's some positives to take from the game, that's what we'll take. We've seen great things from Frederik Andersen goaltending-wise. We've seen a great start from Michael Neuwirth in the game today. So goaltending-wise, I think we're seeing some pretty good things. Defensively, we're still trying to figure things out, especially with Travis Dermott then being on the injured reserve, I guess, for the first 10 to 15 games of the season. So it's going to be tough to find the hole there. Is a guy like Ben Harper going to be in there? I don't know. He's a big body. The Leafs don't have a big body. I know people are going to say, well, he's not very good. You need a guy that's got some size. The Leafs don't have that right now. So is he a guy who's going to make the team? He might, just because of the size of him. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this Leaf team once preseason is over. What they go into the regular season looking like. I don't know. There's a lot of guys who could possibly make the team, but I think guys like Jason Spezza have locked their spot in. I can't see why he would not play on this team this year, but there's lots of question marks for the defense and kind of who's going to play where, and is a guy like Jeremy Bracco going to make the team? Is Gauthier going to get consistent ice time? I don't know what the heck the answers are going to be, but there's lots of question marks, and Mike Babcock and the coaching staff are going to have to figure it out within the next, week and a half, 2 weeks. So it's going to be crazy to see what happens for this Leaf team moving forward. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and did not enjoy parts of the game in this one, smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Excuse me. Comment down below everything you guys want to talk about when it comes to this team, this game. What were your positive things to take from it? Any negatives? What were guys that stood out to you? Who impressed you in this game there this evening for the Toronto Maple Leafs? And any guys you didn't like? Also, your thoughts on the Marner, Tavares, and Kasperi-Kapanen line going -8 combined. Anything you want to dwell on when it comes to that, or is it just kind of like preseason doesn't matter? That's my philosophy. I want to hear your guys' take on that, all right? Guys, Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys Blue Jays edition in the finale of the 3-game set against the New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Trent Thornton on the mound for the Blue Jays tomorrow. Luis Severino on the mound for the Yankees tomorrow. 1:05 first pitch at Yankee Stadium there. And as for our Leafs, their next preseason game is on Monday, 7 o'clock, puck drop at the Bell Center in Montreal as the Leafs take on the Habs. All right, so guys, you know what? Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys then.